And hello, it is Sunday rant time. You can see it's not Sunday morning because on Sunday morning, while you're watching this, I'm packing up for NAMM. And I had a different rant filmed and planned and already scheduled called What Happened to How We Listen to Music or something. It's a good one. I think it's really good. You know what I think? I think it's good. But that's coming later because there's a more pressing thing that apparently is supposed to happen today. So I will do what people traditionally do on the internet. I will talk about something I have no idea about, something that I barely researched, heard about yesterday, and quickly formed an opinion about it, even though it's been discussed for a long time. Something I'm not even a part of, that doesn't really affect me, and yet here I am on the internet talking about it. That's what the internet is best for, right? Go on Facebook, look into any thread, look into any discussion and comments, and you'll see people go nuts. So let's do this. What we're talking about today is TikTok. So all I heard was TikTok is a Chinese company. Chinese owned. The Chinese government owns it. I don't know. It's the internet. That's what I hear. Let me preface this by saying the following. Me as a content creator, I'm going to have to move this light. This is bugging me. Yeah, that's more lighty now. This guy's going to come in handy because he actually has a good video called How TikTok Tricked America. Or actually anyone, but we're getting to this. So, as a content creator, which is what I am, there are these evil words now. Content creator. I've made many videos with products where I said, you're all content creators. As soon as you post something on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, anywhere, you're a content creator. You've created content. So that word now means nothing. We're all content creators. Some of us do it more professionally with better cameras, better mics, which is what I try to propose to some of you to make better content. But anyone filming their dog pooping and putting it online, Noodle the Poodle 42, Instagram, check it out. Good channel, Noodle the Poodle 42. So all of these people are content creators. You are content creators. And I'm an influencer. Oh, that's also a dirty word, but it is. You're an influencer. You tell your brother, oh, I saw this thing, check it out on Netflix. You just influenced him. They are bad words nowadays, but they describe what I do. I review gear, therefore I influence people to buy, or, that's the important thing, not to buy it. But I'm not, and that's the main point, on TikTok. Never have been. I've never even installed the app on anything, never even looked at it anywhere. I've seen reposted things from TikTok that had the TikTok watermark. This guy talks about the watermark. But that's about it. So I'm talking about a platform I literally know nothing about. And before I talk about it more, let's get to today's sponsor. So today's sponsor is Sweetwater. Thank you, Sweetwater. And on behalf of, you don't have to listen to this if you don't want to, but I think you should. On behalf of Sweetwater for Morley. Well, Sweetwater said, hey, we got all these cool products. Is there anything that you could talk about confidently? I'm like, yeah. So Morley has this thing, and now they combined these two things into a one thing called the Morley Hum Removal Toolkit, or the Morley Tool, some buy both kit. This shit's the bomb. I don't know how many of these hum eliminators. They're not called Eptech anymore. They're now the Morley Hum Eliminator. And we all know, because I've said it before, how much I like to say hum eliminator. This has saved my ass so many times, you don't even know. No, you don't, because you haven't been here. But whenever I plug in a pedal into an amp, but also the pedal is connected to somehow with USB or something to the computer, or there's a problem in the effects loop, or whatever, you hear some kind of noise that you don't want, chances are pretty good that the hum eliminator can fix it. This is even stereo. It's two sides, so you need one of them, and then you can run stereo signals. It doesn't need power, and you just plug in quarter inch in and out. So you need one extra cable, and then noise is probably gone. And if you're running XLR cables, you do the same thing with an XLR cable. Let me demonstrate, because in here, I'm running amps through a Fryette power station into the Axe Effects, which is in the rack right there. And that absolutely creates noise. So whatever done, this is not planned, by the way. Power station, some kind of amp. This is a Marshall in this case. Let's follow the XLR cable. Oh, look, hum eliminator in between, because otherwise, you guessed right, I would have hum. I have a bunch of these because they save my ass every single day. So I cannot stress enough how much as a musician you want one of these, at least one in the house. Hobby musician, professional musician, take it to a gig, whatever, you want one of these. But it cannot fix everything. Enter the Humno. And I got a special attachment to Humno because I came up with the name and the logo. Thank you, Molly, for, listening to me on that. It was the Mega Noise Killer Eliminator Terminator 5000 or whatever, very Sunday. So it's a very simple cable. It's passive. You don't need power for that. You plug it in, little red light comes on. But if your amp or speaker, studio speaker, or audio interface, anything with audio creates a hum, there is a chance, not guaranteed, but there is a chance that powering it with this extension, so you take a normal IEC power cord in here and plug this into your device, and it's just an elongated cable. There's a good chance that this will fix the hum. So if this doesn't fix the hum, you know what? There's a good chance this will, because it fixes different kind of hums. If neither this or this fixes it, please consult a physician or electrician or any kind of issue. But for me, 98% of the time, one of these fixed my hum, and guess what? I could continue making videos because that's what I do. So thank you so much, first of all, Morley, for making that shit, for supplying me with it, and for making sure I can actually work hum-free. Bogart. Must have made that joke before. And thank you, Sweetwater, for sponsoring this hum-free, I have to say it again, Bogart block. Back to TikTok. I'm not on TikTok. You probably are. In the US, 170 million people are. Is it really? That's what I heard. That's a crazy number. 7,000? No, 7 million businesses use TikTok to communicate with customers. Something crazy numbers, right? But I'm not on it, never posted on it. But of course, I have friends who do. Most of us do long-form content. Absolutely. Couldn't do this rant on TikTok or Instagram. I do reviews, they're 40 minutes long. What I do has no business being on a short-form content platform like Instagram or TikTok or YouTube Shorts. Yet, we as content creators are forced to create that bullshit 5-second thing or whatever. That's why we've got Leslie's Guitar of the Day. Follow Leslie's Guitar of the Day on Instagram. It's just on my Instagram link somewhere. But we're forced to do that because otherwise we're not relevant on shit like this. So, but you know what? I dropped the anchor right before TikTok. I said, no, I'm not doing this. I'm too old. I'm not doing that. That's the place where the kids dance and shit. But I have friends who are huge on TikTok. John Wines. Hey, John. He's the old grey guitarist. He's got, 1.5 million people on TikTok. Kfir Kion, what does he have? 2 million? It's crazy. They are dependent on this platform. And I cannot talk about what the experience is like, what the algorithm's like. I cannot talk about any of that. I want to talk about more global issue of social media platforms and some of the dangers that they can bring. And TikTok is, of course, now being talked about. So apparently, I watched videos. This is a year old. So people have been talking about the TikTok issue in the States for a while. And apparently today on Sunday, it is supposed to be turned off for United States. Doubt that's going to happen. They talked about a postponement of 200 and something days. I watched a few things. I'm not into the discussion. I learned about this yesterday. And yet here I am talking about it, and you're watching it, and that's the problem with the internet. This is a very good video. I will link it below. Watch it when we're done. It's called How TikTok Tricked America. He talks about where TikTok came from. Because now there's been many clips of the CEO who claims and probably is Singaporean, but it's just a poster child. There's a different guy who had Musical.ly, and that merged with ByteDance and became TikTok. And then the Musical.ly guy went away, and then it was ByteDance. And that's a Chinese company. And as this guy, what's his name? John Coogan points out, any company of that size in China likely gets an investment from what in China would be the FCC, right? And they'll buy like 1% of the company, which anywhere else wouldn't give them any rights, but in China it does. And that means they're reporting to the Chinese government, and Xi Jinping can say, hey, you go away or you don't. Apparently they shut down the ByteDance's previous company willy-nilly because it was uncontrollable. Now TikTok is not in China. It's not available in China, as is Twitter and all that. They do their own thing. But why are people afraid of TikTok in the States? And TikTok being not owned, it isn't owned, it is apparently, again, I have no information that is in any way credible. Apparently it is owned by ByteDance. And well, it's owned by ByteDance, but ByteDance, because it's a big Chinese company, is reporting to the Chinese government, as many Chinese companies have to. Otherwise, people get disappeared. Says that guy doesn't, hey, Xi Jinping, come on, we're buds, right? Where's the danger? Try to have your Facebook Messenger open, or Facebook open, or Instagram, and say dildo 20 times. I just said it once, and Landon Bailey comes in. I say dildo, my phone goes, hey, Landon Bailey just wants something. Okay, well, that tells you a lot about Landon Bailey. His dildos are very likely blue because he likes blue. So do that, and I guarantee you're going to get ads on Facebook for dildoking.de. How do I know that website? Let's not go there. But let's go Lego, my ego, as the Americans say. I was at Michiel's, and we were talking about Lego. My phone was on the table, not even, active. And I go on Facebook, Lego ads. Not one, not two, not three, a whole bunch. Leslie sends me something, that was actually on Chrome, about customized M&Ms. I go to the website, now for 3 days I get customized M&Ms ads. We all know this. We know they're listening in. We know that Alexa, wow, she didn't wake up. There's an Alexa over there. We know they're constantly listening. That's the idea. That's the convenience we want. So the American government is afraid that TikTok, the app, is collecting data about their users. And of course it is. By collecting data about the users, that's how they're targeting the content to the users. Otherwise, they can't give you the stuff that you like to see. They need to know what you like to see in order to give you the thing you like to see. But that also means they know how to advertise to you. I don't know if they advertise on TikTok. I've never been on there. I talk about shit I don't understand. So they have to collect information, right? If they're listening in, that means AIs and bots and all that stuff can just collect that information in the background and put it on service. And so the one guy, a Republican, who did make sense. Not all Republicans are dumbasses. I'm sorry, but he did make sense. He said, this isn't a political thing, by the way, but I that's what I saw. He said, well, What if, they collect data now, put it all away, in 10 years, this kid that, was doing dances or just watching TikTok content, they recorded something that kid shouldn't have done or said or whatever, joins the FBI. Kid wants to keep his job, blackmail him, bam, they've got someone in the FBI. Would they be worried if there was a German company? Probably not. I mean, it's also a foreign, country. But with China, there's tensions. So they're worried about China having that information. I get it. I fully get it. I have to say, I understand. There is a danger of that much information having to be reported from ByteDance to the Chinese government. And this is where the whole internet and conspiracy and talking out my ass, that's happening. Okay? I mean, we know that's happening. Okay? Watch that video. I saw something, and that's something you should think about, 2 years ago. It was a Middle Eastern sheikh, guru, I want to say Swami, but that's probably Indian, a wise man, okay, who said the following: imagine an app, a social media app like that, being controlled, influenced, whatever, by a government. Now, in this case, let's say Chinese government, but this could be anyone. This could be Instagram getting some pointers from the American administration, okay? It could be anyone. The power that social media has nowadays, let's say it was the Chinese government. For shits and giggles, this is a thought experiment, and let's say it's TikTok, because we're talking about TikTok. I think there's a bigger danger, even bigger than collecting data. It's grooming and influencing a whole generation to be dumb or smart, to do dumb or smart things. Now, I just learned, and I didn't know this, because again, I know nothing about TikTok, yet here's a video about it, that TikTok is not active in China. That changes things a little bit, but actually makes my argument maybe even easier. But let's say it was, okay? And we're going to get to that it isn't. What better way, as Douglas Adams would put it, to influence and to change the minds of young children who are on these apps, adolescents, okay, 10 to 20, than to reward them with an algorithm, within the algorithm, to do stupid shit. So you take your laundry pot and you eat it, which is highly dangerous, but then those videos go up. Eating stupid shit. Clicks go up. Oh, everyone likes the videos where people eat stupid shit. Okay? Have you seen the movie Idiocracy? So, the more stupid shit you do, the more popular your feed gets, your channel gets, you gain followers. Oh, dumb stunts, right? Oh, let's take my skateboard and just drive into a wall. Driving cars fast, jumping off of things, climbing up on things really high without a parachute. All these stupid stunts, all this stupidity, if an algorithm rewards it over other content, then the kids will want to do that, right? Oh, we're going to spend our time just going dancey dance, uku, 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 and that's what we're going to learn and practice, and let's do the choreography. Okay. Now, let's say, for the sake of argument, in China, the algorithm is programmed differently. Chinese kids don't get to see stupid shit behavior, but they get to see smart shit behavior. Right? So they see and are rewarded for posting science experiments, bringing good grades to their parents, which is, I know it's not cool. God, it's not cool. For us, from our point of view, because we don't know it any other way. We know the kids that run into the fucking wall with their skateboard. Okay? So let's say that was rewarded. that gets you the clicks because the algorithm there pushes it up, shows it to more people. What if adolescents helping grandma over the street, and that video, heartfelt, nice stuff, gets rewarded? What if good behavior shown in Reels gets rewarded? What if science gets rewarded? What if, you get the idea? Positive, smart shit gets rewarded in the algorithm versus the dumbest laundry pot eating idiots. You could drive two cultures into very different directions because at that age, consuming that content makes you think that's cool. Oh, I want to be an influencer because all I have to do is eat stupid shit and then get fat and then I've got all the money. Right? You know, Logan, what's his face? Those people. Whereas if in a different culture, a government would have control over the content and the algorithm, pushing the positive algorithm, positive content towards the kids and rewarding them for positive content would make them, guess what? Act that way and post that way. That's what that wise man said. And it really opened my eyes to this whole social media bullshit thing. It's frightening what's possible. Absolutely frightening. Now, the fact apparently is TikTok's not available in the US, which makes it even easier. That way you don't even have to program the algorithm to be different in China. All they do is they have their own app. Now people apparently are flocking to Red Snapper or Red Snap or something away from TikTok, being afraid that TikTok's getting shut down. And guess what? That's also a Chinese app. It solves nothing. I'm actually with the US government. Shut that shit down. But, and here's the but. We all like buts. And we cannot lie. Is that the right thing to do? Who's to say that on behalf of a government, the US maybe, Instagram isn't doing the same thing? Do we know what the algorithm pushes in other countries? I mean, we can't say that Instagram's pushing positive behavior in the US. We know people run into the water with their skateboards. Or maybe I get to see this here in Germany because they want to make us dumb and they're getting all the math problem reels. Is that happening? I don't know. But let's talk about the shutdown. So first of all, that would be very smart if that's what the Chinese government was doing. And you can't tell me they're not doing that. There's so much power, so much indoctrination power in that. Oh, that's good. Let me finish with this. Talking about grooming and indoctrination. There was a time in Germany before the 40s when we didn't have social media. So what did kids do? Kids congregated somewhere and they shared information and experiences and they were being taught things, kind of like social media. They were just social. And it was called Hitlerjugend, the Hitler Youth. And they were being taught things, right? What were they taught? Oh, how to put up a tent, how to use a shovel, how to, do Boy, Girl Scout survivally things. Well, would you maybe do that if you wanted to have a strong soldiery type kind of a society? Maybe. A lot of the boys, it's kind of sexist, but okay. But a lot of the boys were playing with model airplanes, sailplanes. They were building them, they were throwing them, they were flying them. Why? Because it gets you to understand aerodynamics, aeronautics, aero things, planey things. The Nazis were grooming pilots. That shit happened back then. And doing that with social media is even easier now. So, food for thought about social media in general. But of course, social media being influenced, controlled, not owned, whatever the situation is, it's a pure hypothetical. But if it was the Chinese government, you'd be right to be concerned. as a citizen of whatever country, actually. But is a blanket shutdown in the US the right thing to do? Look, for the kids that want to dance and lip sync, who gives a flying rat's ass? They're already on Red Snapper or Lemonade. Apparently, that's another one that I learned about yesterday, which is owned by, oh, wait a second, I think ByteDance. Same thing. They have a big tech thing over there. They got the programmers. They just whip out another app, and then everyone flocks over there, and then that gets big, and then we have to shut that shit down again. So I don't think that fixes anything. Are they considering the implications of the jobs of so many people? Because influencer, content creator is a job to many people. So what about my friend Queer? What about my friend John? What about all my friends that post on TikTok, which is probably all of them except me because I'm an old fart. So for me, there is no difference. It doesn't affect me in any way. And many of us that also post our short form content on other platforms and then add TikTok, but yeah, who cares? Okay, maybe not. But TikTok does also pay, and they learned that from Vine, who apparently didn't pay. I learned things today. It's awesome when you watch some videos. TikTok pays. So you shut that down, and if you're a US influencer on TikTok, you're just out of a job. Overnight. That's it. Done. Is that fair? Can we just ask them, just go to a different platform? I have 2 million people following me on frickin' TikTok. That's how I make my money. You just expect me to go over to Instagram and do this, get 2 million people there right now? Also, they don't pay, depending on the country, apparently. YouTube Shorts doesn't pay the same thing. So you can't just go to a different platform and restart and, you'll easily have your followers again. It doesn't work like that. Algorithms is different, all that. What about the businesses that communicate what they do and use TikTok as an advertising platform? And they build their business on, this is where people go to find out what the menu is or the whatever, And apparently there's, I don't know if it was 7,000 or 7 million. I'm going to go with 7 million businesses using TikTok. Pretty hardcore. How are we dealing with this? Is this a smart thing to just shut it down and take that job from people? Look, you can get cat memes somewhere else. You can get dancey things somewhere else. I get that. You can watch people guitar. You can watch people guitar. You can watch people play guitar somewhere else. There are options. But not to the people that just built their livelihood on it. So in that regard, I'm not into shutting it down because it robs income from my friends. I am worried about a platform like that listening in. Why am I not worried about Meta listening in? I should be. A Chinese-owned company who might be forced to share information with the government, even though they claim they don't. That might be xenophobic, might be wrong to say, but it is more worrying because it is a communist country. So, should this be shut down or not? For me, it wouldn't change anything. I am afraid of the long game. Like I said, Hitler had the idea with the kids in the Hitler Youth. He had time, a bit, and he built himself an army there. What if someone behind a social media platform like that, that sounds like a conspiracy thing. I'm crazy. I'm going crazy now. Was just playing the long game and, we want to make a country dumber. But that's the thing. That's the power of social media. I mean, you're probably dumber because you watched this and it got fed to you. Maybe I'm working for the Chinese. I don't know. Look, it's just all thoughts. And as someone who's never been on TikTok, never opened it, doesn't have it installed, and just spent a few hours watching videos and researching this, I really shouldn't be talking about this. And you shouldn't take anything I'm saying at face value in any way. But maybe do your own research and then find out whether or not you should be on whatever platform it is and what you should check or uncheck and whether or not your kids should have access to TikTok or whatever social platform. Might be Lemon, Snapper, even Instagram. I mean, should they be watching these videos? Probably not. Because you know what? In the future, they'll think this is how adults should dress, and they shouldn't. I mean, this is cute, right? I mean, come on. But still, nobody should dress like that. And watching these videos will legitimize dressing like a 12-year-old girl when you're an adult man. So maybe your kids shouldn't watch this. Don't let them watch this. That's my point. I don't even know what my point is anymore. I do know, thank you, Sweetwater, this right here, for sure, you should be getting. I'm not, take this at face value. This is $100 and something bucks. It's not very cheap, or even more, I don't know. But that is something, it's not fun to have, but it's good to have when shit hits the fan. Thank you, Sweetwater, for sponsoring this. Thank you, Molly, for making this. Thank you for watching this. Tomorrow morning, I'm heading off to Nam, reporting from there. Over and out. Links below, please use them. And a link to this video and, of course, to the hum kit at Sweetwater. And animals at the end.